Well, this is something everybody's been talking about.
Oh my God, it is just dominating
Yeah, dominating the news, of
the
course.
news. What I don't understand, and we're going to talk about the Minnesota thing, but
Yeah,
maybe you
that's
can
it.
give me some insight of this. How come it's only Minnesota?
Well, that's true because in Texas and Florida and every other state, they're doing this stuff.
Tennessee, the D.C. There's
Well,
no
I'll
shootings,
tell
no
you why.
nothing.
Because they're cooperating with ICE. What happens is these guys that are about to get out of prison or they're bad people that they arrest and then they re-release back in the street. Instead of re-releasing back in the street, they're cooperating with ICE and handing them over if they're illegals directly
So the
to ICE.
police,
So you
the
don't see them on
local,
the street
so the
pulling them.
local police, the
Yeah,
local police,
yeah,
or whatever
are
city,
working with them.
are keeping the rioters back or trying to
Well,
hold
there,
them
there
while
isn't.
ICE tries to arrest these people.
Yeah, but there's also not a lot of protesters because they're cooperating and they don't see a lot of this stuff on the street like they do in these other cities.
What's with Minnesota? I mean, what's with Minneapolis? I mean, this was the same city with the George Floyd thing.
Yeah, the
But
same city with George Floyd, the same city with all the fraud that's happening.
oh, the fraud is unbelievable. It's
Getting
growing and
bigger and
growing.
bigger. Yeah,
This is going to be unbelievable. Well, the governor. I mean, I don't want to.
he's not cooperating. No,
He's
you're
not
absolutely
cooperating.
right.
He's not.
Now, supposedly he had a good meeting with Trump, and they got rid of two people they pulled out of Minnesota.
ICE,
The ICE,
Ravino,
Ravino, they pulled out,
and well, they didn't pull out Christy Nome. I think they just said we're going to let Tom Homan
yeah.
handle it.
So Tom Homan, who's the head of everything, is
Right.
going in there trying to negotiate and get this thing worked out so that we don't have this stuff on the
Now,
street.
this is my problem with that. You can hear about this. I think when they do something like this, if there's somebody behind this whole thing,
Hmm.
they see weakness. Ooh, Trump blinked. Oh,
Oh yeah, I know.
he's changing the people. Oh, Christy Noma's out. You notice the last day or two, the rhetoric about impeaching Christy Nome, getting her out of there, she
Yeah,
should be fired,
yeah.
this, that, and the other thing. And I think sometimes if a communist or somebody is behind this whole thing, they're going to see a little weakness. Oh, we got weakness here. Let's
Well,
keep driving that.
when Trump said that he had a really good conversation, right there, everybody was jumping on it. You know, oh, is he backing down? Is he doing this? Is he doing
Right.
that? No, he's not going to back down, and that's Trump. That's not Trump. But he is trying to get this resolved so this stuff in the street doesn't keep
Right.
happening. He doesn't want to see anybody get
No,
shot.
he doesn't want that. No, I know he doesn't. He doesn't want any of that.
So we had Jeffrey Pretty.
Right.
I say Pretty, and you know this. No, I better not say that. I saw a joke, a meme.
No, don't say that. Don't.
It's not good.
Not good.
Anyway, Jeffrey Pretty, 37 years old. Now, apparently, this guy carried a weapon to a protest.
Yeah, why? Why? And no ID,
Mhm.
no license for the carry. Even though I guess they looked it up and he did have a license.
Yeah, he
to
did.
carry, but he didn't have his credentials on him.
Mhm.
Why? Why? That's what I. It was horrible what happened. It was. We know that.
Yeah, and it could have been
should-
avoided.
and it could have been avoided. It wasn't a good shooting, if you want to call it that. Whatever.
Right.
But there's things that. And who's the guy that took the gun from him and ran away?
I don't know. I think it might have been an agent, pulled it out of his holster or
He
whatever.
didn't look like an agent, though. He didn't have the garb on or
No
anything
idea.
like that.
I know. I saw that video
And
too.
nobody's bringing that up. It's like he pulled the gun out, started running away, and as he was running, he was kind of like
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I just looked at that and I said, "What the hell is all of that about?"
Yeah.
You know?
What was the first gun that went off? There's so many.
Right. There's so
things
many
they're
things.
investigating.
Yeah.
Now, I can tell you
But-
as. Go
But
ahead.
why would he be there with a gun
Well,
in this type of volatile situation?
right.
I mean,
Even his parents said.
even
"Why
his
do you-
parents said,
why
"What
do
are
you
you
wanna go
doing?
down
Why
there?"
would you do that?"
Right. Why do you want to go down there and get in trouble?
I just, I don't.
Well, I carry quite often, mostly when I'm out with my wife, things like that. And I'll tell you right now, if you do not have your carry permit, it's against the law to carry, even if you have a permit. You got to
Is
have
that
the
for every
permit.
state?
It is for PA. You better have that ID on you, or they're gonna, they have to. Now, again, if you don't have it on you, like you forgot your license, you have to go to court and fight it, whatever, and show that you do. But I'm not going to fight the cop because he came in and had a scuffle with the cops, and he had a scuffle weeks ago.
A week ago, before the shooting, he had
Yeah.
a scuffle and he hurt his rib or did something to his
Well, he
rib.
didn't hurt his rib. ICE did it because he was unruly again.
It wasn't intentional. Supposedly, when they wrestled him to the ground, one
Right.
of the ICE agents happened to fall on him or
Yeah.
somehow
But why was he wrestled to the ground? Because
Right.
he was acting out of.
because he was
He was not a peaceful protester.
right.
So
It all
now-
comes down to federal. A federal investigation that's going on. You can't interrupt it. You can't. What's the word I'm trying to find out? You can't stop. You can't try to stop it. You can't interfere with it.
Yeah, interfere.
It's against the
It's
law.
interference. Yeah.
I mean,
Any operation.
like I said 2 podcasts ago, or maybe
Yeah.
one pod. If you're driving and you see an
Yeah.
ambulance behind you, you pull over and you let them go by, or a cop, you pull over, you let them go by. If you don't, that's against the law.
Yeah, I know. That's the
I
first
mean,
thing.
it's a lot easier thing than this, but I'm just saying it's the same thing.
Well, that's one of the first things you learn when you learn how to drive.
Right.
How to move over for that, and how to stop for school buses,
Right.
and things like that. So, let me quickly run this Kristi Noem video. Mike, put Kristi Noem up here, or what she said about it.
Yeah.
An individual approached U.S. Border Patrol officers with a 9mm semi-automatic handgun. The officers attempted to disarm this individual, but the armed suspect reacted violently. Fearing for his life and for the lives of his fellow officers around him, an agent fired defensive shots.
So that's Kristi Noem's take on it.
Yeah.
But this one's tough. I mean,
Yeah, this one's tough. It was. Well, the minute I saw it, I said, "Oh boy, this is not good."
no.
This
And
is
you know
gonna
what?
be-
They
this is
know
gonna
that
be
this stuff is getting escalated like this. They need to be extra, extra cautious before they pull the trigger. And then they hit him with 6 rounds, 8 rounds.
No, I heard it was 3. It was 3 gunshots, I think.
Oh yeah, watch the video again.
Oh, really?
Make your own decisions, but
Oh, I didn't.
it was
see
quite a few. But we're not gonna show the video tonight.
No,
Everybody's seen it.
You've seen
It's
it.
graphic. So we don't want to do that.
Within the hour that happened, it was all over the place.
Yeah, and there's all different angles, and everybody's and I think what it's very upsetting is that when you have some people on one side of the fence, they actually see the same video but see something completely different than the person on the other side of the fence.
Right.
Same thing with the Renee Good thing. Did he have
Right.
to do it? But these guys are under so much pressure, under so much scrutiny. Do you know that the tax on these guys are up 9,000%
Attacks on the ICE agent.
on the ICE agents because they're getting the rhetoric from the governors and the mayors and don't cooperate and don't do this and don't do that. And if the law enforcement would just cooperate like these other cities we talked about, you don't even hear about it down there. Now, we know the press, how that works, right?
Oh.
What's the news? The news going to Texas and watching nobody on the street?
Right.
This is quiet.
Well, also too, we talk about this. The mainstream media is in the pockets of the Democrats and the socialists. They will do anything to make Trump look bad, and this is like perfect.
Huge.
In fact, they're probably not even happy because if it was a black person, it'd be even better for them.
Oh my gosh.
You imagine that? It would be
Yeah.
even better. It would be like unbelievable. But this is feeding right into their mouths. There, they love this. This is making Trump look like an idiot. His administration and everything. And you can see that with him making these moves with Tom Homan going in. Kristi Noem is up in the air, and
Yeah.
and that Bravino guy, which I thought was very good. I thought he was very good.
Well, he was, but I guess he's trying. Trump is trying to diffuse some of this stuff that's going
Yes.
on because it's
Yeah.
getting out of control.
It is getting out of control.
Really, really bad.
And I don't care what anybody says. I blame the governor. I blame the mayor. You should keep your police should be there to keep the crowds back while ICE goes and arrests these people.
Now, and everybody we know, everybody's got a First Amendment right. I hope I have the amendment right, and they could say what they want. They can protest whatever they want to protest, but you got to stay on the sidewalk. You can't block cars. You can't fight with ICE. They're spitting on these guys. I mean, it's out of
I know.
control.
They're throwing bricks at them. They're throwing snowballs at
And
them.
that's you spit on a guy. You spit on a cop. That's assault, no matter how you look at it.
Yeah.
So you're
And
going to
it's-
get arrested.
Yeah, I'm surprised. This has been going on for what, 6 months, 8 months?
my
How long it's been going on?
Yeah.
I'm surprised there hasn't been any other type of shootings. I mean, there was the one in D.C. where the 2 ICE agents got shot and 1 died.
No, that's a good point.
Right.
You wonder why these guys are on edge when some guy's
Yeah.
carrying a gun with no permit, no ID, and no nothing.
Right.
And of course they're nervous as hell because what happened? And look how fast that story just died,
I know.
right? The girl died. The guy's still recovering. The guy pulled a revolver out of it and shot him for no reason.
Yeah.
We talked about this 3 or 4 podcasts ago. That's been quiet. Nobody said anything about that. There was no protests when that happened.
Right.
Why? Well, I think we're finding out why. Well, first of all, let's talk about this. I like this. This is good. The rules. Here's the rules. The rules for radicals.
Yes.
If you haven't heard about this, you may have. I mean, I want to put a picture up too while we're talking about it. But rules for radicals. Now, this is nuts. I mean, this is the mindset of these people, what they're thinking. What's rule 1? Power is not only what you have, but what the enemy thinks you have.
Right.
Right? Power is derived by 2 main sources: money and people. Wow. Never go outside the expertise of your people. Rule 3, whenever possible, go outside the expertise of the enemy.
That's right. And rule 4, make the enemy live up to its own book of rules.
Wow.
Rule number 5, radical is man's
Ridicule.
Ridicule is man's most potent weapon.
Yeah. So that one is, there's no defense. It's irrational. It's infuriating. It also works as a key pressure point to force the enemy into concessions. Wow. Right. You know, they're like, this is like army stuff. You know, this is like a military type. Give me a break.
Yep.
Rule 7 is a tactic that drags on too long and becomes a drag.
That's an important. Don't become old news. They got to keep it fresh.
That's right.
They got to keep it
That's
fresh.
right.
Because if it does, then it goes into old news.
It goes away.
Yep.
Yeah. So they create a new incident that happens.
Right.
And we got to keep the pressure on, never let up. The threat is usually more terrifying than the thing itself. If you push a negative hard enough, it will push through and become a positive. I love that. That's so true. If you believe in how negative it is, eventually it becomes a positive.
Yep.
The price of successful attack is a constructive alternative.
Yeah. Never let the enemy score points because you've caught without a solution to the problem.
Yeah. Pick a target, freeze it, personalize it, and polarize it. Wow. So
It's really
it's crazy.
Yeah.
This is what's in their mind. This is what they're pushing out there. And